I love it. I love it when all the things break simultaneously at the start of a stream. As I was saying, apologies for the late start. I was statting another monster for a home game that I can't show on stream because some of my players might come in here and see that it's the final boss of Red Hand of Doom that I'm converting to 5th edition, because that's the game I'm about to start running. Red Hand of Doom is really good. Strongly recommend it. It's a bit of work to convert to 5e, like really is like a good amount of work, but, well, I say a good amount. You need to convert the monsters, basically, because a lot of them don't have 1-to-1s in 5e, but do it, I guess. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's a good adventure. But yeah, I say I'm doing well. I've been unreasonably busy this past couple of weeks, but things are starting to kind of cool down a little bit now. Which is nice, especially before Christmas. It gives me time to get some more fucking work done. As opposed to, like, preparing, like, 5 games for a week. I actually had to, like, I ran so many games last week, I had to cancel my Saturday game, because I just physically did not have the requisite amount of time to prepare a session in the time that I had. So I had to cancel my game. But, yeah, I have instead run... I've run 2 games thus far this week. I'm running 1 more tomorrow and 1 more on Sunday. The Sunday game is super chill, and the Saturday game is the one I need to do a shit ton of prep for, whereas the other 2 were... No, I didn't even run on Tuesday this week. I only ran 1 game. I think because I was also taking a break. So, you know, I'm only running 3 games this week, which is good. That's good for me. Either way, I want to use this sort of opportunity to work more on flour. I was also saying the bulb in that's still fucked. I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, if I now don't even turn on. So there we go. There's your fucking answer. Before it used to just kind of flicker a little bit, but now, nah, it just don't work. Just don't work at all, I guess. I think maybe it's turned off at the switch. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. I will replace the bulb at some point. Really can't be asked at the moment, though, to be honest. But yeah, today we're going to be working more on flour. This is sort of a project I'm going to go a lot more sort of full steam ahead on pretty soon. Like, I have another project, Dritz's Travelogue 2, which I am going through a lot of editing stuff on at the moment. I have a lot of that to be doing. But, yeah, damn. Sadly, I'm not even sure if, like, flex tape ships, like, worldwide. I genuinely don't know if it does. Oh no, Flex Seal is Flex Tape is one of the things. Do they ship? Oh, it's so expensive. Of course it is. It's so fucking expensive. There's a whole tab on Phil Swift. Those websites are wonderful. Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, but yeah, I say still busy, but not quite as, like, chronically busy as I was. Like, I was really looking forward to finishing Uranium and streaming this, which obviously turned up today because it just came out today. Turns out I'm not going to get to do that because I do not have the time to have spent all day today, all day tomorrow, and all day Sunday streaming playing this game like I did with Arceus, because I fucking loved doing that. I had such a great time doing it, but I can't do that again. I have a shit ton of work I needed to do today, which I've done most of. I have a really important game to prepare tomorrow, and I'm out all day Sunday. I'm also out of town Monday and Tuesday, so no streaming then either. So yeah, that's I would very much like to stream this, and I will at some point. I will probably finish Uranium once I get the opportunity to do that, because I'm actually quite close to the end. I will finish Uranium, and then I will stream this game. One of my friends has been staying up all night and playing it, and apparently it's pretty alright. Like, it's I'm not sure what bar it has to clear for me to like it, because Arceus was like, it was flawed, but very good and very fun. And therefore I liked it, whereas this, I'm going to keep catching the glare, but this I feel has a much higher bar to clear because it's a main series game. Arceus is like an astoundingly good side game, as far as I'm concerned, right? This is a main game. It needs to be good, like good. Do I think it's going to be good? No, I don't. But I think it's going to be at least be pretty alright. So, yeah, I'm going to reserve all thoughts on it until I've played a bit more of it. Or, well, I say a bit more. Literally haven't started yet. I'm going to start after the stream. I specifically was like, I'm going to do work and do my stream, and then I'm going to play this. There we go. Right. So we're going to get started. So my thought for today was, I'm not necessarily going to spend the whole stream doing that, but I'm going to doing this, but I want to make new Treants, because we think of like, they're like a classic fantasy archetype creature, mostly because of Tolkien, as many things are. There's only one Treant, and I think that's kind of wank. I'm definitely going to continue the spell book, that's for sure. It's just a case of finding a platform more than anything else. Like, Twitter is obviously like a cesspool, but it's also like the way that Twitter works is just really good. Like, it's such a fucking clean website. Like, it's, you know, it's it really is being like systematically dismantled as we speak. Or not physically taken apart, but it is being killed. Because I don't know, old muscular muskrat. But yeah, I will continue the spellbook somewhere. I do not know where, because Twitter is like the perfect platform for it. I don't have any fucking plans for anything, I'm gonna be real with you, but I say welcome in. I say thank you very much for following. But yeah, the like if Twitter dies, I will probably open a Discord of some kind. I will probably make like a, I don't know, what's like the closest thing to Twitter I can even think of is like is like, I mean, no, I'd say I wouldn't even consider it like I don't even think I've underestimated how significant Twitter shutting down is. It is, as of right now, the only social media I actually use as a social media. Like, yeah, I use Reddit, but and a long time ago I used to post on Reddit, but like I don't anymore. Like, really ever. Occasionally I'll post something, but very rarely. I'm just a lurker now on Reddit, and that's all I do. I use it as a feed for very specific like game content. Or frankly, there's a good number of funny circle jerking subreddits that I quite like. There's like a D&D circle jerk. It's fantastic. It's great. You're never gonna hear me big up a fucking subreddit like some of the like the D&D and Magic circle jerking subreddits. I don't even use Twitter religiously. It's just the only one I look at. I specifically like trained myself to use Twitter at all in like 2020 because I didn't touch it ever. And I was like, you know what? If I actually choose to engage with Twitter in any capacity, I probably should. Because it's where basically everybody in my industry is. And now they're just kind of nowhere, because there's a handful of Discords, but a lot of them are either too small or too big to be of any use to anyone. Like the DMs Guild Creator Lounge is like good for what it is, but if you actually want to like, you know, talk to people that you know in there, like it's not an option. It's a giant public server with a good couple hundred consistently active users. Like, that's not, you know. And then like 12, 1,200 lurkers, basically, myself included. So I'm basically never posting there. As I said, I don't post like anything more than like a hey, signal boost my tweet thing, because they're usually pretty good for that, to be honest. I say to be honest, they're just good for that. Yeah, I will probably make myself a Tumblr blog. I don't know if I'm going to use it. I don't fucking know anything about Tumblr. It's just the closest thing that there is to Twitter. And it's not like Twitter at all. But I do have, it was initially what I was going to use forever ago for like my portfolio. So I do actually have a Tumblr blog as like Dice Average RPG. There's literally nothing on there though. Like I'm like 80% sure it is empty. I'm going to go check. It's like half constructed. Yeah, there's like no posts on there. There's like a half constructed layout, but it's kind of ugly. It's not horrible, but it definitely needs redoing. But yeah, like it's, yeah, they are not going to be welcome. I know people who are former Tumblr users and Twitter artists. Most people who are Twitter artists are hated by people who exclusively use Tumblr. It is not going to go well for them. Which is, I mean, honestly kind of sucks for them, really, because, like, there is a fuck ton of, like, Twitter artists who are actually really good at what they do, who are just going to vanish into the void, and no one is going to see anything from them ever again. Because Twitter is a fucking cesspool, but it is a great it's probably the only platform with any kind of like discoverability in it. Yeah, or they get big enough where they have enough Twitter followers that will move on to something like a Patreon or like a, I don't know, whatever the other ones are. There's Patreon, there's Coffee isn't really like a Patreon thing. It's like you just give people money. There are other ones, like Patreon-esque platforms, but yeah, like you're definitely right. Like, there's like artists who either are exclusively on Twitter or built their platform on Twitter and have only just been able to like migrate, you know, a lot of their like monetary aspect to somewhere else. But yeah, you know, it's I think realistically there's a very high possibility that someone somewhere. It's really kind of a race to the bottom of, or not a race to the bottom. It's kind of a race where they're like, if Elon kills Twitter fast enough, then Twitter will die. Like no matter what happens, like it's not gonna just go like that. It's just gonna die. Like MySpace still exists, still the server's still on. It's you know, it's a festering corpse, but still technically alive. That either that's going to happen to Twitter because Elon sort of soft kills it, or someone is going to wrap a lawyer's hands around his neck and, you know, pull him off of it, or he's going to do what he had mentioned he was going to do and put someone else in charge of Twitter because he's bored already, because of course he fucking is. But yeah, there's I think it's more likely than people think it is. I think there are a lot of people who have big money in Twitter who collectively could feasibly match Elon. No, that's probably not true. Yeah, no, that's probably not true. I think it is. It's more likely than people think it is. It's still. Like I'm not in a position to really guess odds either, but I think it's not improbable that Twitter bounces back after this. Usually, probably because Elon has been put to bed, as it were, or shot. That would be nice, but I shouldn't speak about our oligarchical overlords. But you know, prepare the firing squad and all that. Get the guillotines out. That's my based take for the evening. Is the overwhelming majority of, I don't know, like the vast majority of people who have more than $1 billion worth of net revenue, or not net revenue, but like concurrent revenue, well, probably net revenue as well, honestly. I think it's unfeasible for any of them to have earned that through like moral means. So maybe, but, not putting out ideas in anybody's head or anything. Not yet. No, I should not speak ill of our overlords. They will send the death squad after me. I will commit suicide. No, I'm not relevant enough for that. Okay, right. I'm gonna stop talking about murdering people and start making treants. Yeah, I think probably like it was like a final thing. I was like, I will probably like make a Discord. I think is probably a good angle to come at this with, because I know some people in industry, like some professional designers who I'm, not like, best buddies with or anything, but they're people I respect, and I've spoken with them before, and we're on like, we're on good terms as like creators, and I think, even just some help from them of like, hey, what software did you use? And like, I have a friend who's a fucking like server wizard. I'm sure I can, get a little bit of help there as well. Like, I'll work it out. I'm gonna wait and see what's actually happening to Twitter before I make any rash decisions. Or honestly, until I have like a couple days where I don't have anything to do, which is unlikely. Either way. Now, what treant ideas did I have? Making a treant warrior, a treant druid, and a swarmkeeper treant. I will start with a treant warrior because that's very simple. Honestly, they could just be variants to the regular treant, but I don't know. I say, welcome in. We've been talking about Twitter and mostly Twitter this whole time, so I haven't actually started yet. I am now about to start, however. Nope. It's a monster block. Now, this is going to take forever, because when I'm streaming, AutoHotkey does not like spitting out big chunks of text. Or not. Okay. I guess maybe it's just big homebrewery files don't like it then. Treant. Oh, treant warrior. Typically chaotic good. It's weird to think of treants as chaotic anything, but like I can kind of see it, but I also kind of can't. It's weird. Either way, they are huge plants, and I'm going to subtype treant because it seems to be the thing that I do now, is I make a billion subtypes, because you know what? I play Magic the Gathering, and I think subtypes and tags are sick as fuck. I like them. It's good shit. So, treants have really weird, and if anything, it might be easier for me to just remake the treant stat block. I'm going to do that instead. Because, man, giving something a vulnerability and then also 2 really clunky resistances feels like a big ol' no-go to me. I'm not actually sure if I don't actually have a downloaded copy of that. I'll give it a look in my own time, but I'll probably start on my own grounds for now, and I'll take a look at that for inspiration later. Something I was actually considering as well was potentially updating the pumpkin from 13 Halloween Horrors, and were they from Halloween? They must be. They must have been, and putting them in here as well, if that's all good, because I thought it would be interesting to put them in here. Obviously without the art, I'm not gonna fucking swipe DiaQuest's art. I was obviously I'll talk to you about it some other time, but Languages. What do they speak? Common, Druidic, Elvish, Sylvan. Druidic. No, Druidic. Elvish, Sylvan. Senses. I'm going to give them actual proficiencies as well. I'm not going to give them any of these. I will give them susceptibility to fire. Yeah, sure thing. They don't have dark vision. I guess that kind of makes sense. Why don't they have tremor sense? That feels like just a little radius of tremor sense. Like they have roots. That feels sensible. Tremor sense, 10 feet. Passive perception. Right, so they have... Oh, shit. Pressed the accidentally. Every so often I'll like move my mouse too far to the right and I'll like click. I'll knock the right click against my dice tray and just like right click on something randomly. It's these stats seem fine. Make copies of people out of foliage. There is a very similar creature in Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. It's the Body Taker plant. Very, very, very like, you know, Invasion of the Body Snatchers kind of vibe. It is pretty cool. It's CR7. Yeah, it makes a podling? Yes, they're podlings. I forget what the podlings do specifically. I'm not sure if they are like... Yes, there's a physical copy of a creature digested by the Body Taker plant. Yeah, it's very similar to what you're describing. I imagine one swiped from the other, or realistically, it's invasion. It's just an Invasion of the Body Snatchers reference. Right, where is the... Fuck, I closed the Treant stat block. I shouldn't... That's not what I want. Oh, okay, right, that makes sense. Oh, there's a Treant sapling in one of the books as well. Oh, it's in Wild Beyond the Wish. Let's snag that as well. That seems sensible. We'll do that too. It's like, I mean, it's just a weaker Treant really, but yeah. So I remember statting them, and I just really liked their flavor. I thought they were really, really fun. Oh yeah, I remember making them. There's the, I think it's a pumpling or like a pump kid or something. It's like the little one, and then there's like the adult, and then there's the pump king. I remember making them because I wrote them when I was in a caravan 2 years ago. Because we made the 13 Halloween Horror Monsters like really early in advance. And then, like, at the last second, we had that one guy drop out, and I had to make 3 others in, like, 2 weeks or some shit. Or not, I didn't have to make... I think I had to make one of them from scratch, and the other 2 I had to adapt, I think. I say that like making 3 monsters in 2 weeks is any actual amount of work, mind you. That's really not. But I remember we were, like, super on top of it, and then there was, like, one guy that just fucking ghosted the project and dropped out, and we had to, like, scramble to put things back together, or not put things, you know what I mean. Like it was like we were super on top of it until someone fucked us over. I don't think these things need any save proficiency. They have like pretty good stats across the board. Like I'm sure like a whiz save proficiency, and maybe whiz and charisma. Yeah, why not? Whiz and charisma, sure. So skills. They're obviously going to have nature, which they inexplicably don't get normally. So nature, perception plus 7, so 17 passive perception. I don't think there's any other like things they should obviously have. So they have false appearance. It's notionless, it's indistinguishable from a normal tree. Siege monster, and yeah, so siege monster, definitely keeping that. 16 AC, sure thing. Well, that's a thing. I need to change armor so it says, like, spells it the American way, because, I guess. So, Treant. Yeah, I feel like a Treant warrior is just kind of like a variant Treant. It's not, like, majorly different. It feels like, you know, distinctly like maybe it's CR10 or something, and it has a sword attack which does more damage, or like a mace attack or something. I don't know. That just seems more interesting. Yeah, sure. I'll give it a look. So I was going to give it susceptibility to fire. Oh yeah, what was the... Oh, let's go here. There's a creature in here that has... I need to look at... Queen Hecolda, because she has something like this. Susceptibility to fire. So if you cast Fireball on the tree, and it will always deal my train of thought damage, 8 times 6. 48. It will always deal 48 damage to a Treant. Or 24 if it succeeds, which with a -1, it's probably not gonna. So that's sort of my kind of replacement. Ozzy now needs more hit points. Oh yeah, the Tumblethorns are good fun. I specifically liked making them like if you set if you set one on fire, it will kill them like pretty quickly. However, if you set them on fire, it's that kind of thing where like the reason why tumbleweeds are like such a huge problem in the places that have them is just because they lay seeds on everything that they touch, and they are very dry and therefore flammable. So you have a rolling ball of fire that bounces across your dry Midwestern wheat field and sets your entire farm on fire. It's just a bad time. It's a bad time all around. So Treants. So the regular Treant it makes 2 slam attacks. I think we'll keep that the same. That seems like sensible to me. It has a reach of 5 feet, which feels yeah. I was sort of like my thing to add a little bit of spice to them. I wasn't like, I felt like it was missing something. I was like, oh wait, they lay seeds wherever they go. Maybe they lay seeds in people. That seems like a pretty fertile ground to grow plant seeds in. I will probably reuse that idea somewhere in here as well. Plus 10 to hit. I'm going to give them 10 feet of reach because it feels weird that they only have 5 feet. They're big old trees. They should have big old arms to, you know, smack a guy with, you know. Feels kind of a no-brainer. So it does 3d6 plus 6. bludgeoning damage. 16? Yes, 16. And then it has the rock attack as well, which I'll probably just snag right out of this index. Oh, piss. Ranged weapon attack. Like, these attacks are fine. I'm not honestly really a fan of animate trees. Just, like, kind of on principle, I'm really not that big of a fan of it. The fact that, like, all treants have it, but I don't hate it implicitly. Yeah, obviously, like, my changes to the treant were going to be, like, pretty minor anyway, but I kind of feel like it's missing something. Like the susceptibility to fire is, like, a much nicer replacement. It needs new hit points as well. That's 30 feet of speed. Like, it's really big, but it's not very fast, so that kind of evens out at 30 feet. Hit points wise, because it used to have relevant resistances that it no longer has. So that's definitely a contributing factor to its challenge rating. So as of right now, it probably isn't CR9 with regular treant hit points, I would assume. I guess it does also have the vulnerability as well, but, like, again, vulnerability is, it's, you know, just as a general, like, thing for everyone, like, don't give your creatures vulnerabilities. Like, it's in my years, I have found that immunity to non-magical damage and all vulnerabilities, and honestly to a lesser extent resistance to non-magical damage as well, it's just kind of shitty design. And not because like it just makes monsters that are a fucking nightmare to balance, where if the party has magic items, then it's a cakewalk, and if they don't have magic items, then it's basically unwinnable, because they have multiple members of the party who literally can't do anything. Both of these outcomes are bad, and they're very easy to come across when you make monsters with damage resistance and immunity. Damage vulnerability is basically just, if they have the ability, if they stumble into finding what the vulnerability is, then your creature dies immediately. Double damage is a lot. It is a lot. Yeah, seemingly has a defensive CR of only 5 now, which is, you know, obviously very low. Offensive CR on, what are we looking at? It's 32, 28. It's about 30 damage. Yeah, we're looking at a CR6 creature right here. This is really really a sort of a shadow of its former self. I guess it does animate the trees. Like the animated trees kind of completely makes up for the fact that the rest of it is not that good. See, I really feel like the animate trees is the kind of ability that is cool on paper. And you know what? It is just cool. It's a cool ability. The problem is that they just don't. They don't. It makes these things really hard to balance, because creatures that summon other creatures are always a pain in the ass, right? But I think probably the main thing for me looking at this is that it feels weird that every single treant can do this, right? Like, every treant has 2 equally powerful bodyguards hanging around with them all the time. Like, there should definitely be types of Treants. Any Treant spellcaster, 100% should be able to do this. But just a regular Treant? That seems... It just, like, obviously it's meant to give the Treants, like, a special thing that only they can, you know, it's like a thing. This is what all Treants do. It makes sense, because without it, it's just kind of an empty creature. It just doesn't really do anything. This without animate trees, this thing is just a giant with a different subtype. Like, it has a physical attack and it throws a rock at things. Big whoop. Otherwise, it is functionally exactly just a giant. But maybe there's another angle. Maybe there's something else that Treants should be able to do that isn't animating trees. Because the ability is cool. But it feels like, why would every Treant be able to do this? That's really fucking weird. It doesn't really make any sense to me more than anything else. There's definitely something else that they should be able to do that is cool, that isn't this. But I don't know what that is. Could be something to do with roots. Maybe they can slam you and use a roots attack, and they can like pull you in or something. Maybe they can grapple you from a distance and stop you from getting close. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna nix this ability and see if I can come up with something else exciting for Treants to be able to do that isn't this. I'm also gonna give them more hit points. So they are huge. They have an AC of 21, and let's go with 10d12 for stars. No, let's go 15d12, 172. 16d12, 184 hit points. Oh Christ. 5/16, yeah, so 184 hit points. I like that. I like that. It feels like a good amount of hit points, but now it needs more damage. Because as of right now, this thing is CR 7. It has an offensive CR of 6 and a defensive CR of 8. That's not enough in my book. We need more. Let's look at Treants in Magic the Gathering. Type Tree Folk. Let's go on Scryfall. See what else Tree Folk can do. Yeah, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about when there's like a Tree Folk warrior, like it has a weapon of some kind. Ancient of the Equinox. That's very cool. Yeah, I'm here for like distance grappling. There are other creatures that do it, so it's not, I'm not like in a rush to make that the thing, because there are other creatures that can do that. Like the Tree Blight does that. It has an ability that is basically exactly that. And while I like that, it's not necessarily what I want. I don't want to immediately default to that. More so. Feyburrow Elder. See, most of these are sort of like some of these are like goofy treants, like this thing where it's like it's just a guy who's made of wood. Some of them are like this, where it's I don't even know what that is. I say, yeah, welcome in. Currently looking for inspiration to make Treants. Oh, of course, it's a tribal enchantment, right? That makes sense. I was like, what? That's not a tree, that's a giant, but he's being turned into a tree. Nah, so we'll save like wooden petrification to something else, or for something else. Like this thing is like that's like a tree folk like spellcaster of some kind. I haven't, no. I say, the game arrived for me earlier on. I'm gonna stop playing it after my stream. But yeah, terrestrializing looks kind of silly. Not like unfun silly, but it does. It looks interesting. It looks like an actually interesting mechanic you need to use your brain for more than basically all the others put together. Which, as much as I like Mega Revolution, I think terrestrializing is probably healthier for the game. Emphasis on probably. To unveil tree. Oh, I remember this thing. Ulvenwald. Oh, I like this guy. That was pretty fun. I like these. Look at their little fucking heads and little eyes. That's great. Oh, he's doing it as well. He's doing the thing. Yeah, he like reaches into the ground and like grapples a guy. That's actually really cool, huh? Oh, this is gorgeous. I haven't seen this. This is a gorgeous piece of art. For the long-lived Trees folks, the Phyrexians invading again after only 3 centuries was as though they never left. I think that's fantastic. I love that. That's so great. Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, I guess we're gonna go for the distance grappling because it feels sensible. I like it. I like it. So slam. Next 2 slam on grasping roots attacks. Let's look at the tree blight for a similar kind of attack. I don't know if that would work specifically for the Treant, but there's definitely there's definitely grounds for a creature that does that. The main things I'd want the Treant to be able to stand on its own. Like being able to make the brush would be useful, but I'd want it to like be able to do other stuff as well. Escape DC 18. Just reduce the damage of the rock because it can be a part of its like multi-attack action. Actually, nah, we'll just make it so it, like, nah. I can replace one. Makes 2 slam attacks. Makes 2 slam attacks and replace 1 attack with a Grasping Roots attack. Wait, hang on, there's got to be a better way to like frame that. There's got to be. Makes 2 melee attacks, only one of which can be a Grasping Roots attack. Hang on. Let's look at old Murdyverse. Show me the Murdyverse. Need to find creatures with multi-attack specifically. See, there's like a vampire of sorts in here. There is not. Shit. No, Titivolus doesn't do it. The Tarnaruk, no. The Swashbuckler, no. Elad, no. There's going to be something in here that very specifically has the wording that I'm looking for of like it makes 2 of the same kind of attack and then it can make and it can replace one of them with a different kind of attack. But I don't know what that is. No, it's makes 2 slam attacks. Oh, I forgot to change the number on. You know what, fuck it, let's just make it 2 slam. 2 reach 20. So the being able to like grapple creatures at range is really powerful. This thing can just like hard shut down more powerful attackers like very easily, or melee attackers, should I say? Might bump the damage a little as well, to really get this thing up to CR9. So 46, that's 14, that's 20 damage, I believe. And this can go up as well to 22, 27, 33. Let me just check and make sure that's right. It is. So that does, yeah, it does 40 damage, or I think the Grasping Root should definitely do less, because then it's just better than the Slam. Should definitely do like that. Should go back to 16. If the target, 10 feet in a straight line away from the Treant. Sure thing. I'll take a look in a sec. Does 35 damage now, which brings it up to CR8. I guess this thing just needs to be tankier. I mean, it does also have that grapple ability, which is very strong. This is actually really good. Like, even just the thing of, like, it makes a slam attack and then grasping roots the same thing that's in melee with it, like, that's huge. Like, because it's a free disengage, and then it grapples the dude, so it can't come after them again. That's actually really significant. I'm gonna bump up the hit points a little bit, just to be sure. Yeah, let's go 207. That's 90? Yes. 90 hit points. So let's go. This text looks kind of weird. I might have to futz with that. Right, let me go look at Golem real fast, because Golem will have the kind of text that I want in it. I'll take a look at your ability in just a sec. I'm just gonna find the wording I need for Golem. Let's look at the variant Tomb Tapper that I made, the Tomb Tapper Arcana Butcher, which is a name and a half. Flavor text. Make it CR10. I'm not sure what CR10 actually nets you. It's 5,900 XP. Let me look at some of the other variants in here as well. Got the text for the Hellfire Boreworm as well. Melee weapon attack, plus 10 to hit, reach 15 feet, 1 target, hit. It's from one of the more recent albums that's been put on here. Because the album, like this Haritella track, it's like so long that I probably haven't actually heard all of it. I think I've heard this one before. 66 plus 6, that's... I want to say 66 plus 6 is 28, but I'm not sure on that one. 7, 7, 21, it's 27. 27. I'm not sure if this thing really bumps the challenge up enough. $27 plus. Oh fuck, I didn't want to put that there. Yeah, this thing bumps it to CR8 pretty easy. Still not the most interesting thing in the world, but it is just sort of like a flat, you know, bump to the treant that already exists, so I guess that's kind of simple enough, you know. Treant warrior, yeah. It's because we'll be able to make more interesting treants later, is the main thing. Yeah, I'm gonna take a... Oh, actually, oh no, I was gonna look at this ability, wasn't I? I'll do that and then I will take my break. Can we just spin it 1 inch wide without squeezing? Resist from a patch of dirt or sand. Emits a toxin that saps the energy of all who touch it. Whenever a creature enters the cosmos, starts to turn that a creature takes. Oh, that's a thing. You need to put in. You need to put in a clause that creatures can that it can end its, like, call it shapeless or something, where you have the incorporeal movement where it can end its turn in the space of another creature. Okay, or we can hang on. Let me go find the exact text of what I'm looking for. So I think that's how. I think that lets it ends its turn. That creature. So it's 2 love exhaustion. Hmm. This should say and must make, not succeed. Yeah, this ability, I think it works okay, but I would also specify. I would just put, if a creature reaches 6th level exhaustion in this way, it becomes incapacitated instead of dying. Or no, it falls unconscious. I guess the main thing is that this isn't a magical effect. And I believe Warforged are... I would put creatures that don't sleep are instead stunned is probably the best. Incapacitated, their speed, and they have a... Oh, no, they already have a... No, they already have a speed of 0 from the exhaustion, so that's okay. I would change this last part here to its own sentence and put, if the effect ends for a creature, or the exhaustion gains, the levels of exhaustion are lost when the effect ends. I think is probably the cleanest way of doing that. But yeah, no, I think for the most part this works okay as is. Yeah, I like this thing's kind of neat. The good old exhaustion monster. As a design classic, and they're usually quite good fun to design because everybody has like a different take. I've not seen one like this before. That's for sure. But either way, I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go get food. I'll be back in give or take like 15 minutes. I shouldn't be too long. But yeah, hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I shall return. Well, that's the thing. Amorphous might mean that they can end it, because is there a gelatinous... Can the gelatinous cube... Does it have a thing that allows it to enter a creature's space? And the cube is confusing as well. I don't know. No, it's all good. I say, I'm going to go get food. I'll be back in about 15 minutes or so. If people have to head off, that's fine. When I come back, I'm going to make some more Treants. I'm going to make a Treant caster. I'm going to see if I can make a Treant swarm keeper as well. I have sort of some ideas for that I kind of want to use. Lots of swarms of insects and other bits and pieces. I think it's going to be neat. But either way, I shall return shortly. See ya. It's a me, a Mario. I'm gonna carry on now. I won't go for a huge amount longer, just because I want to chill, and honestly, I want to start playing Pokemon, to be honest. But I'm gonna do at least one more. Treant Druid. Oh. Damn. Maybe I am. Koopas. I don't know what else Chris Pratt says other than saying Koopas with way too much force and emphasis. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a funny follow-up joke, but I can't, so there isn't one. Honestly, a Treant Druid literally just needs, like, a good, let's go 20 wisdom. Oh, damn. It really do be like that sometimes, though. Good old Chris P. Rat. Our son. Oh. Treant Druid. What kind of spells do we give him? Nope. Dang. 9, 8, 19? Yes. No? No, 17. Thorn Whip feels pretty sensible. Oh. Now it's going to be finding other spells. Entangle's got to be on there. Let's look at Druid and Ranger spells. Druidcraft, definitely. Doesn't need Shillelagh. Yes. Let's give it Speak with Animals too. Oh, that's annoying. I'm gonna have to. Two per day each. What else can we give? No, Boxkin's wank. Ooh, Spike Growth. That's a good one. Spike Growth. Erupting Earth, that's a good one. Let's give them Mold Earth. That could be fun. Oh, I need to clear my throat. Fuck. There we go. It's a lot better. Ooh, speak with plants. Nah, actually, nah. This feels like something I just kind of do anyway. One per day each. Plant growth, mostly because whilst plant growth is a third, being able to cast it multiple times just doesn't sound very fun. Grasping Vine. Grasping Vine is shit, but I could give it to them, like, at will. That would make it way better. Plant growth. Commune with nature. That's a good one. Wrath of Nature, hell yeah. That's a fun one. Oh shit, I forgot to... Wrath of Nature. Like I need another sort of spell to put in like the 2 per day crowd. Maybe Grasping Vine goes in there. Yeah, maybe we do that. That feels maybe a little more sensible. Animals. Running Earth, Grasping Vine, Spike Growth, Commune with Nature, Plant Growth, Wrath of Nature. I'm also going to give it Animate Trees. Right, so this thing has basically the same damage output as a regular Treant, which it has the same AC. I'll futz with the hit points later. So it's 20 plus 20, or 20 plus 16 plus 33 divided by 3 is 36. Oh, Thorn Whip is an attack roll. So we're looking at, so Thorn Whip is 3d8. That is actually just worse. I don't think it should have Thorn Whip. It is just expressly worse than everything else it has. So Erupting Earth, meanwhile. It's 3d12. Oh. It does need the spell attack for Wrath of Nature. Oh shit. Yeah, no. So it does 67 damage, yeah. But by changing that and letting it makes 2 grasping roots or slam attacks and uses spell casting. Let me just go check, like, no, it's not Orcus. I was looking at this before, like there was a specific subsection of creatures that did the thing that I wanted. It's like they do a thing and then they use spell casting. I don't remember what it was. I think I was like right near the bottom. I was looking. Check Zariel. Nope. There's Titivolus. Cypriax. No. A Skull Lord. Nope. I'm gonna find it. It's in here somewhere, the thing I'm looking for. No. Was the Oinoloth? That was it. There we go. That is that, I think. That is about that. I think it does need a little boost in hit points, as expected. $22d12. Oh, plus 110. 253. There's definitely more Treants I want to make, but I am pretty happy with these two. Like, the sort of the redoing of the Treant and then making this new one with, like, the anime trees. Like, it has these guys. Someone's basically 2 CR9 dudes with only this, you know, they only have the slam attack, but even so, like, that's still pretty good damage. They just don't have, like, the grasping roots ability or anything, which is fine by me. I think it's probably a little bit too good for it to have much of anything else. But yeah, I think this is probably a good place to stop. I didn't want to get a little bit more done today, but I am, like, still sort of battling with having lots of shit going on at the moment. I think at this point it's kind of like I'm at a point where I'm like I'm not going to make any promises at the very least until, like, the new year about how my schedule is going to smooth out, because I have, like, one really intensive game on a Saturday at the moment that takes up a lot of my time and a lot of my energy, and it is, like, I think just past the break point of I have too much to do in 1 week. At the moment, anyway. Like, that could change. I don't know. I will, you know, like, you will see me streaming more if that changes. Because at the moment, I'm, like, streaming once a week because I just can't justify making the time to do, like, little afternoon streams for a couple hours, which I really want to do. It's just a lot of energy that I kind of just don't have right now more than anything else. But I am, you know, I'm going to continue to make an effort to make sure that sort of, like, happens sooner rather than later if I can. I was gonna give them Arcana as well. That was the thing. And I was gonna give the tree and animal handling too, because that seems sensible. No, can't spell. Ah. Okay, that's the actual change I was gonna make. But yeah, I'm going to stop here. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves again. Apologies for just sort of being a little all over the place at the moment. I know it's not really that big of a deal, but even so, like, I want to be able to settle into a good schedule again, and I think it is going to be a while before I'm able to do that. Just with how much stuff I have going on at the moment, but, you know, it'll settle down. Eventually, that much I have faith in. But yeah, I will not be streaming again this Monday because I'm out of town that night. However, I will definitely be streaming next Friday, I think. I might not be streaming next Friday, actually. I will, if I'm not, I will make sure to make another day next week where I am. That's a thing. My Thursdays are going to be free for the next couple of weeks. I might move my stream to a Thursday. I might do that. Haven't made a concrete decision on that yet. I will think about it nearer the time. But if I do have a game to run next Friday, I will probably move this stream to the Thursday night. Because otherwise, you know, but my Thursday game literally finished yesterday, and we've got, like, a few weeks before I start, you know, session zeroing and session oneing for the next one. Yeah, it's Red Hat of Doom is what I was talking about right at the start. But yeah, I'm gonna head off here. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I will, if I can, I'll be back next Wednesday. For fuck's sake, I've done it again. I absentmindedly booked something on Wednesday, knowing I want to do things. I've booked a fucking optician's appointment for next Wednesday. Well, I will work something out. Worst case, I will be streaming again in a couple of weeks. Best case, I will see people again at some point on Wednesday, and then again on Thursday or Friday. But yeah, I hope folks enjoyed themselves. So yeah.